My wealthy in-laws offered to pay for our honeymoon with one condition that revealed their true intentions. When are you going to give us grandchildren? It's the question every newly engaged couple dreads, but when it came from my future in-laws, it carried the weight of inheritance and expectation. I met James at a charity fundraiser 4 years ago. He was brilliant, kind, and came from the kind of family that had buildings named after them at universities. I grew up firmly middle-class Pan, the daughter of a teacher and a nurse who worked overtime to put me through college. The economic gap between our families was a canyon, but James and I built a bridge across it with mutual respect and shared values. When we announced our engagement, his parents hosted an extravagant dinner at their estate. As champagne flowed, my future father-in-law cleared his throat and made an unexpected offer. "We'd like to give you two a proper honeymoon," he announced. 2 weeks at our villa in Santorini, all expenses paid. Before I could express gratitude, his mother added with a tight smile, "To here is just one small condition." The table fell silent. James tensed beside me. "The honeymoon is for making babies," she said, raising her glass. "So no birth control allowed. We expect you to start a family immediately." I nearly choked on my wine. James's face flushed crimson. "Mother, that's completely inappropriate," he said firmly. She waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, don't be so modern. Marriage is about family, and we need to ensure the Davenport line continues." His father nodded. "Son, you are 34. Time is ticking. We've been more than patient about your unconventional choice of bride." The word unconventional hung in the air like a bad odor. I knew exactly what they meant. I wasn't from money. I worked as an environmental lawyer fighting corporate polluters pawn sometimes companies their friends owned. And perhaps most unconventionally, I'd been open about wanting to wait a few years before having children. James gripped my hand under the table. "We appreciate the offer," he said carefully, "but our reproductive choices aren't part of any honeymoon package." That night, as we drove home in silence, I finally asked the question burning in my mind. Is that how they see me? As an incubator for Davenport heirs? They've always been obsessed with legacy. It's not you, Pert, it's their twisted sense of family obligation. He took my hands, but we decide our future, not them. 2 days later, his mother called me directly to cancel something she'd never done before. "I think we got off on the wrong foot," she began, her voice honey sweet. "The offer still stands, no strings attached. Considerate our apology." Something in her tone made me suspicious. "That's very generous, but James always wanted a big family," she interrupted. "He may be indulging your career ambitions now, but men change when they hit 35. They want what their fathers had." The manipulation was so transparent it was almost laughable. "Actually," I replied calmly, "James and I have discussed having 2 children once we're ready, and his father had 3. There was a pause. "Well, his father's brother had 4. The point is, darling, a man needs his legacy, and legacies require sacrifices." After hanging up, I called my own mother, who listened patiently before offering her wisdom. "Honey, their gift comes with invisible strings. Start your marriage the way you intend to continue it. Give her on your own terms." We declined the honeymoon villa and booked a small cottage in Maine instead. We paid for it ourselves, stayed within our budget, and spent mornings hiking and evenings by the fireplace discussing our future plan, including when we might be ready for children. On our last night there, James presented me with an envelope. Implied was a deed to the cottage we'd been staying in. "You bought this?" I gasped. He smiled. "We bought this with our money, not theirs. No conditions, no expectations, part just our future, on our terms." 3 years later, when we did welcome our first child, we did it in our own time and our own way. My mother-in-law still occasionally mentions how we wasted our prime fertility years, but those comments slide off me now. Some people use gifts to control your future. Others recognize that the most valuable gift is the freedom to choose your own path, parent, even if it takes a cottage in Maine to understand the difference.